This is the second part of the DAG representation of basic block lecture. So in this topic already we are familiar with that how we're going to represent the DAG of the basic blocks, and we discussed lot of things related to the construction of a DAG and how we understand that we create the nodes for a DAG. So actually we analyze the basic block. Now this next part, the same topic, we further discussed the remaining part that is related to the arrays pointer and procedure call, that being how used by the DAG. The summary of the previous lecture is that we learned there that how we can eliminate local common sub expressions. So we compute a value already that not being again calculate in next consecutive or after few instructions that again calculate. So this situation not possible. So that we learn how to eliminate it. Next we try to eliminate the dead code. Another thing, we reorder the statement, but it doesn't means that it changes the essence. It must reduce the time of a temporary variable needs. And final one is that algebraic laws. When we apply the algebraic laws, it is reorder operands of 3 address instructions, and it helps us in simplifying the computations. Now here is your learning by doing section. Already in last lecture we didn't ask any question. We go with the flow of DAG construction. Now this section, there is a question for you. A basic block can be analyzed by, so there are 4 options. So simply pause the video, write the answer in a copy, and then play again the video. So here is the answer. So answer is here DAG. Just we learned in the last video. So DAG is the suitable answer here out of these 4 option that can use to analyze the basic block. Now we discuss the DAG representation of array references. This one is the most important, as in DAG construction we generally try to identify first common sub expression and then try to eliminate it. But there are some critical situation where this common expression looks like maybe not as common sub expression. So there is some dependency causes the difference produces among the common sub expressions. So take an example here on your screen. I have considered 3 address statements. First statement is x equals to ai, next statement is aj equals to y, third one is j equals to ai. Here you identify the first and third statement where right part are same or common sub expression. So I can eliminate the ai from the third statement where I can put x. So third statement will look like z equals to x. I hope everyone understand. But consider a situation where the value of I is equals to j. So that means aj equals to y. The second statement changes the value of ai. Already I said you that j equals to I means j having the same value that is for I. So ai value is assigned to x, and now the same index value aj will contain a new value y. But in the third statement what you identify, z equals to ai, and what you identify the common sub expression. Earlier just you change the value with x, it causes wrong result, wrong assignment to the z. So as J creates the difference. As it is written on your screen, just go through it. So from this example we understand that the statement which looks like common sub expression, actually they are not. Now we're going to learn that what is the proper way to represent array access in a DAG. Suppose there is an assignment statement like, as we see earlier, x equals to ai. So if you want to create it, how you represent in the DAG form, this is the format. A is the array name that also consisting of the address, starting address of an array. So it will be in the left side, and in the right side the index variable I, and in the operator section we put the operator equal to array operator, and it represents its two children. Variable x becomes the label of new node, as it is the left part of the statement. That means after the value identification in array, it's simply assigned to the x. Now the next rule is that suppose there is an assignment statement, that's the next assignment statement, aj equals to y. So this kind of representation, if you want to create a DAG with the three children a, j and y, then it will kills the earlier DAG construction node. Now here you identify one more thing, that this node is not labeled with any other variable, as array itself want to assign by some value of the y. But what is the reason behind that it kills? It kills is the reason that if you identify that this is a common sub expression a array within the index I, but due to the next statement where the array a is mutually dependent, means the next statement, this one is depend upon the first statement ai. So therefore we can say the new node creation which killed the earlier node, and the current node will not get any label. So we can, from this analysis, we say that this is not a common expression with the array. Now this is the full example. Here you identify that first two statements are available and the third statement also available. Earlier, few slides before, what we learned that sometime a situation arises where the common sub expression as we look likes or identify, actually they are not. So this example help us again with the rules that just we have learned, explain us that why they are not looks like common sub expression. So you see that the first node I have created with the level x, whose two children a and I is being killed due to the next node creation, that is aj equals to y statement, where three children of that node. Finally the z label is created with the value ai. So it explained that with the rules that the label x is no longer valid as in common sub expression with the z. So we can say that x is assigned with a value of ai is being different maybe with the z. Now another example, it is also the same situation. Consider the three statement b equals to 12 plus a, x equals to bi, bj equals to y. Here b is an array name which tells you the address that perform some calculation where the array A address is added with the 12, so it jumps 4 location. Next time the B value index I is assigned to the X. Now in the third statement, Bj is assigned with the value Y. So you can say that J and I may be a different. So there will be no problem. If both J and I are will be equal, then it will be a big problem, as X taken a value of Bi, it no longer valid or remain in case of the third statement Bj equals to Y. So this is same situation as earlier. So if you create a DAG for each statement, you find that first one is 12 plus A0. So first you have created. Next time you created the X equals to Bi. Here I and B is assigned with the value operator plus, and this construction is labeled by the X, but due to the third statement this construction is killed, so X is no longer valid. As the third construction with a 3 child, it says B, J and Y are the children and they are going to assign with the value of an Y. So these two examples, the first one and this one, explain that there is a such situation where there looks like common sub expression but they are actually not. So this kind of problem arises in array statement. Now the last two subtopics that is related to the DAG representation are the pointer assignment and the procedure call. Suppose there are two pointer statement X equals to star P and star Q equals to Y. I hope you know the meaning of that. Let's X equals to star P means that pointer value is assigned with the X, and same star Q equals to assigned with the value Q. Now actually we do not know what P or Q point to. In fact, S equals star P is a use of every variable whatsoever, and star Q equals to Y is a possible assignment of every variable. As a consequence, the operator equals to star must take all nodes that are currently associated with identifiers as arguments, which is relevant for dead code elimination. More importantly, the star equal to operator kills all the other nodes so far constructed in the DAG. Now in case of procedure call, we can say that it behaves much like assignment through pointers. In the absence of global data flow information, we must assume that a procedure uses and changes any data to which it has access. Thus, if variable X is in the scope of a procedure P, a call to P both uses the node with attached variable X and kills that node. Finally, what are the rules that need to be enforced and that to be remembered? So first point is that any evaluation of or assignment to an array element must follow the previous assignment to an element of an array if there is one. So from the last two example, the first point reflects that one. If there are one after one array statement and one is assigning some value and another one is receiving some value from some variable, then this situation may arises. Next point, any assignment to an element of an array A must follow any previous evaluation of A. Third point, any use of any identifier must follow the previous procedure call or indirect assignment through a pointer if there is one. Any procedure call or indirect assignment through a pointer must follow all previous evaluation of an identifier, of any identifiers. So finally we can say that if there is a reordering code, uses of an array may not cross each other and no statement may cross a procedure call or assignment through a pointer. So these things must be remembered when in analysis to create the DAG. Now here the section learning by doing. So there is an example question is given to you with a 3 address code. You have to construct a DAG for it. Pause the video, write the answer in your copy by constructing the DAG, and after completing simply play the video. Now here is the answer. This is the DAG of your question 3 address code. So here the step 1, step 2 and step 3 is written there, that how they will constructed. So in the first step we construct the first part, then in the green color this is the next part, and third we draw the root part. So this is the answer of the learning by doing. Now there is another question by learning by doing. Here is a code is available of the C code. You have to write the 3 address code for it and then represent the DAG. Now pause the video, write the 3 address code for this code and construct the corresponding DAG, then play the video. So here is the output. Each steps is shown here along with the 3 address code. Kindly go through it. From these 2 examples of the learning by doing, it help you to understand how to construct a DAG. Finally, I want to say only one thing. If there is any question arises in your mind during the discussion of the topic, you feel free yourself to ask me a question or write me in my official email ID to clear your doubt. Till then, happy learning.